MJ, and today we're going to do a quick little tutorial on how to make a Valentine's Day purse. Perfect for your little ones. It's a great beginner project or great for kids. It's going to be quick and easy. You're going to need a 6mm hook and a 4.5mm hook because we're making 2 size hearts. The smaller heart will be made with Bernat Satin and the larger heart with Patons Shetland Chunky. Okay, so let's get started on this project. It's going to be really fun, and I'm just going to do this video at my mom's house because I've got renos going on in my house, so I'm going to have a great studio soon to do my video, so I'm really excited about that. I've got skylights going in, so I won't have to go outside so much to get good quality video. So super excited, so let's get started. Okay, so let's get started. The body of the purse is going to be made using Patons Shetland Chunky. So we need to make 2 hearts with this cream color, and I'm using a 6mm hook to make these hearts. Now for the embellishment on the outside, we're going to use Bernat Satin. So I'm going to make a smaller heart. We follow the same pattern, but I'm using a thinner yarn, and I'm using a 4.5mm hook for this heart. Okay, so let's get started here. So first I'm going to make a slip knot. Put that on my hook, tighten it up. Okay, and we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now we're going to single crochet in the second chain from hook and in the next 2 chains. So this is going to start the bottom of our heart. So there's 2 and 3. Okay, so now we're going to chain 1 and turn our work. Turn it over. Okay, so now on this row, we're going to increase in the first and increase in the last stitch. So there's 1, 2 single crochet in the first, 1 single crochet, and then 2 single crochet in the last. Okay, so now we have a total of 5. Chain 1 and turn. I'm going to do another increase, so 2 single crochet in the first, 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to do 2 single crochet in the last. Oops. And chain 1 and turn. So now we have 7. We're going to increase again, so 2 in the first, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2 in the last. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, we're up to 9 now. So the next row, we're also going to do an increase. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 2 in the last. So you will find this written pattern in the description box. I'll have the link to my blog so you can go on if you prefer to look at the written pattern. So now we're going to start doing the increase every other row. So we've gone up to 11, chain 1 and turn, and now we're just going to single crochet in each stitch across. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, Oops, I didn't do a good job of that. Sometimes you have to look and find those 2 loops. Okay, and chain 1 and turn. So what we're going to continue to do now is the next row, we're going to do an increase, and then we'll just single crochet in each stitch around for the following. And we are going to continue doing this until we reach 21 stitches in the row. So I'm going to stop the video, I'm going to finish that up and meet you back. Okay, so I now have 21. So now what I'm going to do is single crochet in the next 10 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so this is going to be the first curve that we're going to do of our heart. So I'm going to chain 1 and turn, and then I'm going to do a decrease. So you want to pull up a loop, pull up another loop, and then pull through all 3 loops, and that brings 2 stitches into 1 stitch. So that's your first decrease. Then we'll single crochet along until we get to our last 2. Whoops. Okay, so we're going to want to decrease these. So we'll go through, pull up a loop, go through the next stitch, and pull up a loop, and then yarn over and pull through all 3. So now you've created 1 stitch out of these 2 stitches. Okay, so chain 1 and turn. And now we'll just do 1 single crochet in each stitch across. We should have 8 stitches. Okay, chain 1 and turn. And now we'll do a decrease again. So we'll decrease and then single crochet across until we get to our last 2 stitches. Chain 1 and turn. And then we'll single crochet in each stitch across. Chain 1 and turn. Okay, and then this is going to be our final decrease row. So our final will be 4 stitches across the top. So now we're going to finish off here. So I'm just going to snip this yarn, pull that through. Okay, so now we want to turn our work because we want to make sure we're working the same way we started down this row, okay? So we're going to skip this 11th stitch because we crocheted 10 across, so we're going to skip the 11th and we're going to join our yarn into the 12th stitch. So just grab my yarn, pull it through with a little tail. Okay, and now we're going to do a single crochet in that stitch. And I just crochet over my tail as I go here too. So we're going to single crochet 10 across here. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. chain 1 and turn. So we're going to do the same on this side as we did on the other side. So we'll decrease down to 8, and then we'll do a row of just 8, and then we'll decrease down to 6, do a row of just 6, and decrease down to 4. So I'm going to continue doing that, and then I'll come back. Okay, so I've decreased down to 4. So this is what our heart's looking like. We've got some tails here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start single crocheting around the entire heart, and I will crochet over this tail as I go, just to kind of save some weaving time. Okay, so I have done my last single crochet there, and we just go right into crocheting around. There should always be a spot there for you to put your hook into. Single crochet makes it pretty easy. You will have 1 single crochet per row. If you have rows of double crochet, when you're doing edging, you have 2 single crochet per row. Half doubles can be the trickiest because they're in between, so 2 every 3 rows. So single crochet is pretty easy. You can usually feel your way into the hole that you need to go into. So you just single crochet up around the top. So now I'll just start going over this tail to save on some weaving time. Okay, so I'm going to keep going. Okay, so I have my 2 hearts done in cream. So now I'm going to work on my 3rd heart. So now I'm trying to get that to come in for you. This is my 4.5 hook, and I'm going to use my pink yarn now. Okay, and this yarn is fuchsia, and it's a medium 4. It recommends a 5 mil, but I find it's a very thin 4 weight, so I'm going to use a 4.5, but you could also use a 5, and it's still going to end up coming out smaller than the other hearts we made. Okay, so this pattern is going to be exactly the same. So you're going to start out by chaining 4, single crochet 3, increase until you have 11 stitches, and then increase every other to 21 stitches. So I'm just going to continue working on my little pink heart now, and I'll come back and show you how to put it all together. Okay, so I have my heart done. Now what we want to do is leave a long tail when we fasten off this time, because we're going to use this tail now to sew this little pink heart onto a bigger heart. Okay. So what I'm going to do is first, I just want to finish this edge off by just kind of weaving that piece down. So what you're going to want to do is line up your heart where you want it, and then what you're going to do is you're going to sew it down. So through each of these loops here, you're going to sew down to the cream. So you go up like this, and just grabbing a piece of the cream, go through.
just want to make sure as you do this that you're checking that you are sewing it on in the right position and it hasn't moved on you, which can happen. So you want to just kind of check as you go, keep putting it into the right location so that it's even, and just continue sewing your heart on. Okay, so I'm going to keep doing that and I'll come back when I finish sewing around. Okay, so I have my pink heart sewn on and I just push my thread through to this side, and what you want to do is just weave your thread in, and then you can snip that off. Okay, so now I have my other heart. So what you want to do is put your bad sides together, match them up, just need to pull them into place, because what you're going to want to do is make sure that your stitches are all lined up. Okay. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to attach the straps. Okay, so we're going to start up on this corner. I'm going to chain to make my strap. I'm going to end up here on this corner, because we're going to leave this part of the purse is all going to be open and the rest of it's going to be closed. So I like to kind of pick this, you know, these were our top 4 stitches, so kind of up the top, the 4th one right here is where you can join on. So we'll finish on this side, and then what we'll do to attach our pieces together, we're going to slip stitch through both sides to close up the purse. Okay, so I want my strap here to be extra thick. So what I've done is I've taken my inside strand and my outside strand from my ball, and I'm going to work with 2. So I've inserted my hook through those top 2. We've got both sides, both top loops. So we're going to pull through and we're going to start chaining. Okay, so I've already made one of these purses, and I did it for my youngest. My youngest is 4. So I chained 70 for my strap. You can really chain however many you want. This purse is going to be for my 10-year-old. So I'm going to go for 100 this time, because she's going to need the strap to be a little bit longer. Okay, so I'm not going to count the first one to secure that. And then I'm going to chain 100. So I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera, because it's going to take a minute, and I'll come back. Okay, so I've chained 100. So now we want to join back onto this side. Okay, so in the top corner, we'll go on this piece, and then we need to find the top corner on this one. Okay, and then you take your yarn, you pull it all the way through. Okay, so now this is going to be your opening, the top of your purse, and we're going to work our way around closing off this entire purse. So what you want to do is just go stitch by stitch, making sure you're going through this one and then the back one, the same stitch, and then you just pull through. Okay, so then you go through the next one, make sure you're getting the right one on the back, and pull it through. Okay, so I'm just going to continue to do that, and I'm going to come back. Okay, so I'm almost done, but yeah, this is so fun. This could also be a little pillow. It would be adorable, or you can just make these hearts for embellishments. on other things. My girls love their purses. Actually, since I made one already, I haven't been able to get it back from my 4-year-old. I was trying to get some pictures and she's already got it filled with her money and all of her little treasures. She loves crocheted purses, so I thought this would be perfect for Valentine's Day. My 10-year-old's birthday is on Valentine's Day, so she's gonna love this. And one idea leads to another idea, and I had an idea for a cute little poncho to go with this. So I'm gonna show some photos of my daughter with her purse and her poncho. And if you're interested in purchasing that pattern, you can go to my webpage and purchase that. There'll be links in the description box below for all of that. Okay, so then when we get to the end here, we're gonna have to make sure that all of this is well knotted and secured. So I'm gonna start by cutting off a strand here. Okay, and I'm gonna pull that through. And then we have our end here that we started with, and I'm gonna knot these two together, and that is going to make sure that this little strap here does not come apart, because you know the girls are gonna be rough on that. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take each of these ends separately and I'm gonna weave them well inside my purse so that we don't see them. So I'm gonna do that and I'm gonna come back. Okay, so I have my ends all weaved in. Everything's complete. So this is a great beginner project. This would be perfect for your girls to try or anyone that's new to crochet. It's simple, it's fun. You've got a nice little pouch there. And even for your kids to take to school for Valentine's. And if you want to make this bigger, you're just wanting to increase more and just make sure that you have even amounts of stitches on each side. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel to stay updated on new videos and tutorials. Thanks for watching and have an awesome day.